I would have been 2, 4, 5, 6.
State of the Save is back with part 2 of Perfect Dark. Michael.
Yes.
It's been a week or two since we recorded. How things have been going?
It's been going good. We're back on a rhythm. 2 weeks, and now we're doing another podcast. What is this?
Well, the game didn't break on us this time.
That is true.
Look at us completing things on time. No, Perfect Dark, part 2. If you didn't have a chance to check out the part 1, you could listen to this as a standalone. Perfect Dark isn't really a story-heavy experience. You can listen to this as a standalone, I guess.
I wasn't expecting a lot. There's less than I was expecting.
Not in a bad way.
No, yeah, it doesn't get in the way.
That's not the purpose of this game.
Yeah.
No, it definitely had a good time with it. We'll talk about some Perfect Dark. Got some housekeeping up front. We have an exciting announcement for the show that we're doing this summer. Michael, you want to talk about our new initiative?
Yes. So one of the things we didn't really get the chance to do on the first iteration of this show was, I really like RPGs. Eric's more like, played some RPGs, but you're more curious about like the big ones that you missed and everything. And this whole show concept is like discovering new games and like games that might be our potential favorites.
I feel like I have a deep affection for the RPGs that I love, like the Mass Effect franchise and Fallout and The Witcher.
Yeah.
But I don't have, it's not my main genre. So
Mm.
there's a lot of like big gaps in my experience with RPGs.
So what we're going to do is this summer, we are going to do a 5-part, our biggest game club ever of an RPG. And we need your help for suggestions on picking the RPG. This is not a vote. Eric and I have the final decision.
This is not a democracy.
This is not a democracy.
If you've been listening to this show for any length of time, you know this is not a democracy.
So in the description of this very episode, there is a link to a Google survey with only one question. You do not need to enter in your email or any information. You just
We're
name
not
an
here
RPG.
we're not trying to send you spam.
No,
We're not trying to get into your Discord. Trust us, we just want to know what RPG we should play.
We have about like 30 suggestions so far that are actual RPGs. Whoever submitted The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, like, fantastic game. I don't consider Zelda an RPG.
There's a lot of people also who can't read. So there was some fun comments of people thinking we were playing all of these RPGs this summer.
You can't play Persona 5 and Dragon Quest 11 in a single summer. I'm like, no, that's not the point.
Motherfucker, if you read paragraph 1, it will tell you. No, we love all the engagement.
We do. It's fun reading through those and some suggestions that I wouldn't have even like considered. Like, we just got one before the show, Look Outside. And I'm like, oh yeah, I heard of that. That's like a Steam-only Devolver Digital RPG that popped up in a suggestion. I need to look more into that, but that seems something really cool.
No, I'm really happy with how this has gone so far. It's only been up for less than a week, I believe. And already had a lot of engagement, had a lot of people going on there having conversations.
A lot
in
of
the comments of like, hey, I talk about this one. Oh, that's a good one. Like, the idea of this show at the end of the day is to enjoy video games and have a relatively positive place to talk about, video games, and also get out of the zeitgeist of what's in the news today and talk about games in a more, long-term, going back and hitting things from the past. And so anytime we can promote those conversations, it's a win for us. So I'm actually very happy with this.
And there's some games that we're only going to play one, but there are some suggestions out there that I'm like, hey, if we don't play Metaphor ReFantazio, I'm discovering Metaphor ReFantazio seems pretty freaking cool. Well, so I'm making like a short list of games that I like want to play outside of the show, or like, I don't know if that'll be a good fit for this, but this does seem really cool.
I think that also, there's no reason to say that we won't revisit.
Yeah, this concept. If it goes well, if we like really enjoy how it does, because RPGs, I'm discovering, kind of hard to break up in some aspects with even playtime. So this is an experiment for us. Bear with us, but
I think also I would like to do more of this kind of community outsourcing of the games we play and like inviting other people to join the conversation. You know, I think that a lot of people listen to the show is almost like, hey, what did they talk about this game? And I do the same thing on a lot of like YouTube, channels and things like that. But this kind of encourages people to get involved and, help drive what they want to hear about and what games we should play. And like I said, it just gets more things in front of us because not only are we being hit by a ton of releases every single week in the world of video games and we're constantly trying to catch what we can, but when you're also going back and talking about games of the past, you're trying to go back and find things that you might have already missed or got kind of overlooked. So I think this is kind of a cool thing. I'm really, really happy with how the engagement started so far. And I hope a lot of people kind of stick with us and listen to what we're about to go do. Cause it's a tougher thing for us to do, with a game this large and still give it enough time to discuss it properly.
We'll be taking submissions until there's no hard date, but until about the beginning to the middle of June. We'll be taking submissions and then making a decision before we reach the end of our next game club.
Yeah. I think also, Michael, and correct me if I'm wrong here, there's a lot of fun stuff coming up in the world of video games this summer.
Yeah.
And I would imagine we'll have some more bonus episodes coming up. There's a lot of video game movies coming out.
You mean the critically okayed Mortal Kombat 2?
Listen, we have a show on Mortal Kombat 1.
It would be a disservice if we miss out on Mortal Kombat 2.
I think, didn't we? No, we didn't record those at the same time. But we did watch Mortal Kombat and then do what was it? What was the other game we did?
Night Trap.
Night Trap. Did we do that in the same day or the same week?
No, we did that they were relatively close to each other, but we did watch Mortal Kombat and then immediately record our thoughts on Mortal Kombat.
Listen, I kind of like that first Mortal Kombat movie.
It's got issues like if you could take the main character out and the story would not change, but man, those fights were cool.
I mean,
anytime Scorpion was on screen, I was happy, and every time Scorpion wasn't on screen, I was like, where's Scorpion?
Wasn't that a cool fight between Scorpion and Sub-Zero where,
they fought in, a frozen MMA?
Yeah, like an
octagon
gym, and, it froze over before the fight. Oh, it was cool.
Sub-Zero was, the T-1000 from Terminator. Every time they were, on the run from Sub-Zero, and every time he shows up, the house would, just freeze over. I'm like, oh, that sounds cool.
As a kid, I remember my first, interactions with Mortal Kombat. I just assumed that Sub-Zero was the good guy and Scorpion is the bad guy.
They eventually made Sub-Zero a good guy, probably just for that, because people are like, oh man, Sub-Zero is really awesome.
But yeah, I like that he's a villain in that movie and he's pretty cool. So we'll be doing that. Street Fighter's got a movie coming out. Resident Evil got a movie coming out.
You're all wrong. That Resident Evil movie looks fantastic.
I do not understand. We are established that we are Resident Evil fanboys. I just finished my playthrough of Resident Evil remake last week. I actually for the first time I actually got the perfect ending for Jill. And I tell you right now, that movie looks great. It's a vibe. It feels like a Resident Evil vibe, and I don't need it to directly retell the stories of the games as long as it feels like a accurate Resident Evil movie.
I really want to go back on Reset era message boards back from 2015 whenever they announced Resident Evil 7 and just find it to see if people are like, this doesn't look like Resident Evil. Where's Leon? Why are we in the house again? There's no zombies. There's these weird mold men.
I think also though people were so,
they had a right to be skeptical, to be fair.
They did, but I also think Resident Evil 6 had put the bar really low. And so I think a lot of people were just happy to see something looking different and unique, but also
we go back to first person in a creepy house 1 year after PT came out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure somebody was like, it's a PT ripoff, it won't go anywhere. This is not always a Resident Evil cast. It's just one of my favorite franchises and Michael's favorite franchises.
There was a podcast I listened to that they jokingly had a time to Resident Evil because the conversation would always shift to Resident Evil.
I mean, I feel like we probably should get that. Put up it's a drinking game for State of the Save. your liver won't make it past the first 5 episodes of the show every time you drink when we talk Resident Evil. But I will say this. There's a weird like Resident Evil 6 like undercurrent going on right now where people are like, I actually think Resident Evil 6 is one of the best games, and I need to put that down fast. Like I feel like it's like I feel like it is a contagion, and we gotta take this thing down before it starts to spread. Because I'm seeing people on Twitter and stuff being like, hey, Resident Evil 6 is actually in my top 3 Resident Evil games. And like at first I'm like, look at these trolls. And then I'm like, no, I don't think they're trolls. We have to burn this infection out before it takes over. And before people start to believe that Resident Evil 6 is a good game. We have to stop this, Michael.
I thought about becoming the problem with this. I thought about downloading 6 just to play Mercenaries. And if that colors my entire opinion of that game, then so be it.
we should play through 6 as a co-op experience. And just see, because you've never played through 6. And I feel like this is an opportunity to let you experience this with me. We'll talk about this later.
It's like 25 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's like 4 different, because it's the Leon campaign,
it's
the Chris campaign.
Absurdly long.
Sherry campaign, and then the Ada campaign. Oh. And the Ada campaign doesn't even get a legit co-op partner. You just get Agent as the second player. Who's like he exists in this nether realm that he doesn't exist outside of the gameplay. So in like cutscenes and things, he's not there. It's a whole thing.
I don't mind that because we did. We'll touch on our brief time with the co-op in Perfect Dark, but they literally just make another Joanna with blonde hair for the co-op, which is so funny.
Blonde Joanna is pretty cool. No, but I think in closing on the RPG summary, Michael, I think that this is really. We've had great feedback right off the bat. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a big, opportunity for us to do something weird and different. So definitely jump on there, throw your suggestions in, and we'll announce that in June. Pretty much, I guess, towards the end of our playthrough of this next game.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing. It's not just like JRPGs. It's all types of RPGs. Yeah. Western RPGs, action RPGs,
turn-based,
immersive sim. Star.
We had a conversation on if immersive sims count, but if there's
stats and leveling, I'm gonna say yes. If there's like just picking locks, then I'm gonna say no.
Listen, did I just make fun of someone for putting Legend of Zelda on there? Yes. Do I feel bad about that? No. Would I make fun of you if you put a bad suggestion on there? Possibly. Should that make you not want to put a suggestion on there? No, go ahead and do it. Why you care what I say? I really do think that it'll be fun, and definitely go on there, add your suggestion. Let us hear from you. Call to action's over, Michael. Time to talk about video games.
Video games!
Michael, before we get into Perfect Dark, what have you been playing? What have you been up to?
So, I did not anticipate me getting back into this thing. Back when I originally got my Switch 1, I bought 2 games. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and then I bought a game that had came out the year before that people were playing on the Switch, and I was like, okay, let me check out Stardew Valley. I played it for like 5-6 hours, and then haven't touched it since about 2017. I did not understand, like, the general flow. People are like, I was like, this is a really like chill game, but I'm like really stressed out for some reason playing this. I'm like worried about the wrong things. So I put it down. And for some reason, this is months after they brought out like a Switch 2 version. So it was on my mind a few months ago. And I'm like, okay, I'll check that out maybe again sometime. For some reason, I don't know why. I was just like, well, I'll just play this, start a new character, see what's up. And I feel like I get it now. So, Stardew Valley, everyone knows about it. It's a farming game made by one guy. You click the credits button, and it's just like one name listed.
One of the Jason Schreier books has the story of the development of that. You actually lent me the book a while ago, and when I read it.
Blood,
And
Sweat, and Pixels is that?
Yeah, Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. Yeah, you're right. And dude, like that story is amazing. That man bet on himself and came up, winning the jackpot. So like it's not my kind of game.
Is that the one where his girlfriend was like supporting him?
Seems like a
this
saint
time?
of a human being. Like, it's one of those situations where that woman had a lot of people in her ear, like, you need to stop supporting this loser who's spending years of his life making a video game. I can just see the aunts and uncles at Thanksgiving, and this woman bet on the guy. She believed in him. He believed in the project, and look where he is today. The thing just blew up. So yeah, it's like inspirational. Not my kind of game, but like the story is amazing.
See, I didn't think it was for me either.
Okay.
And then it sort of became that. Like, I really enjoyed Harvest Moon on the GameCube, and I don't know, because a part of me was like, I don't know why that one clicked for me when I was a kid, and now when I'm older, why this one's not clicking. And I think it was like I wasn't getting my priorities in order to the point where I was like having fun. I was focusing a lot of, well, I gotta like go to like the mines and everything. Is like, what do you mean I gotta clear out my entire field and everything? I'm burning out my energy faster than I can do anything I want to in a day before I have to go to bed. I feel like my days are wasted, and as a result, I'm not farming as much as I want to. I'm not generating enough money. This game is really stressing me out. And the whole point of the game is basically just, hey, relax, do what you want on a given day. It's going to be okay. Just go out there, talk to people, use the money you have to like plant seeds, water stuff. It did help. There's been a lot of updates since. There's been like 10 years of updates since that game came out, so I don't know if like anything's changed that allowed me to like find the fun in this game faster. But one of the things I got to pick out which sort of base farm I wanted to start out versus the standard one. So I started with one with a chicken coop. So now every morning is like a routine, like, oh, I gotta go check on the chicken coop, make sure they have hay. I pick up their eggs and I go and sell them, and that's like a base like 100 gold for the next day that I can like spend on stuff. And when I get a kitchen, I can use that eggs to make recipes and then sell those for bigger prices. So has me thinking of like short-term goals and long-term goals, like finding stuff to like take to the community center and like build out the community center and everything, figuring out like which town people I want to like spend more time with and everything. So this has become my nightly Switch 2 game when I'm like laying in bed for like 30 minutes to an hour, like every night after my wife goes to sleep and everything. And I go to bed a little bit after her where I can just like play a game, and like the music is so like relaxing. It's the perfect, just like, I'm going to end the day with this sort of thing, my wind down game. And it's the one like consistent game I've been playing in my life right now. And I like really enjoy this.
I think that there's two things I would say here. One, sometimes a game just hits you at the wrong time. It just doesn't connect in the moment in which you want to play it. Like I've had this happen to a lot of games that became like my favorite games. I revisited them years later. I'm like, oh, I get it. Like the blinders have fell away and I now understand. There's also, and this is a mentality that I've tried to learn towards video games and also towards life in the past year. Use the rocket launcher. And what I mean by that is, instead of trying to min-max everything and worry about what's like the appropriate way to play the game and like how to get the most money and how to like have the perfect farm, just play the game the way you want to play it and see what happens.
Yeah.
And I use the rocket launcher because like I think about like games like Resident Evil and things like that where you get like this super powered weapon, and I never used it because it's like, well, maybe something down the line will require me to use this. And now it's like, no, sometimes just use the fun thing. Have the fun in the moment and see what happens. And I think a game like that is basically embracing that, hey, this might not be the mid-max way to run the farm, but are you getting out there and having more of the conversations with the characters and enjoying yourself and having fun in the world? Well, you're probably playing it the right way, you know?
Yeah.
use the rocket launcher, or in this case, farm the eggs and just have a good day. Don't worry about whether you're mid-maxing the farm or whatever.
Like, you'll eventually get to a festival where you can get like strawberries, which will net you like a lot of money, and then like discovering that was like oh, okay, like they built in things to where you're discovering things at a certain time. And I know I'm about to approach summer, which is like a soft reset. Your crops in the spring won't grow in the summer, so you got to reevaluate, like, okay, what am I going to plant? What am I going to try to prioritize and everything? Animals are like year round, so I have that year round thing going. But as summer is approaching, I'm like, what are the summer plants I'm going to do when the time comes? And it's like planning for the future, but like having fun with it, because I'm not like stressing out about it too much.
Yeah.
Of how to like min max this game, as you were saying. So it's the perfect wind down game for any given night.
I think that at the end of the day, I think you're playing it in a way that's probably a lot more relaxing. And also, like I said, sometimes games just hit you the right way at the right time. And you didn't have that before, but you got it now, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that that's a good thing. Anything else you've been playing before?
That's it. That's all that I'm like comfortable to speak on right now.
Oh, well, what are you not comfortable to speak on?
No, it's just that like I've been like dabbling like with a bunch of stuff, but nothing has like really like taken a consistent amount of time like Stardew Valley has.
I was worried that there's like a Steam game selection, like you had the hidden, yeah, like Steam's got them game. Like I'm not comfortable speaking on these games.
I did phrase that weird.
Yeah, I looked at you. I was like, we're having a revelation over here.
No, I mean I could talk about like bashing my head against a boss in Demon Souls, but that's not fun for anybody. So
one of the new things the Xbox update gives you now is the ability to hide games and achievements. And like it was really weird how many people on Twitter and stuff and Reddit were like, I'm so excited now I can hide games from my achievement list. I'm like, motherfucker, what games are you playing that you gotta hide? Like what is happening here? I've been playing something I don't want to hide. I think it's an amazing video game. Michael, Pragmata. I keep saying it wrong, but I believe that's correct.
Pragmata's right.
Pragmata.
Jeff Grubb's podcast has a running bit where they call it Pragmata.
Pragmata. My Southern comes out every time I talk about it. This game is a joy. I am having so much fun. I am playing it at such a slow rate because I am trying to, like, it has a section in which you unlock like challenge rooms and such. I'm notoriously not a fan of those. I generally want to progress the story in games. I'm doing all the challenge rooms. I'm looking for the collectibles.
See, that surprises me because when you were playing Doom Eternal, you were like, man, these Slayer gates. I really like the Slayer gates.
You know what? I'm thinking I'm becoming that person. Because I played back through Doom Eternal, and I played through, obviously, Doom The Dark Ages last year, and I played back through Doom 2016. And I did all of the challenge gate, like the Slayer gates and the challenges. I did everything in all those games. I was like, well, maybe it's just because Doom combat's really good. And then I played through Ninja Gaiden last year, the new Ninja Gaiden last year. And they have like the shrines that are like the difficulty. They have like a wager system in which you bet something to try to get more out of doing the challenges in the shrines. And I did those. And now with this, I'm doing the challenge. I think I'm just becoming that guy. Like, which is fine. I also think is a testament to those games is combat. And this is not all combat challenges, but it's also like traversal and like beat the clock kind of stuff and things like that. I think the game feels so good. That's why I'm doing it. Also, the game has a ton of collectibles and stuff that are not annoying to find because every time you go looking for a collectible, it will get you something like a cool little platforming that you need to do to get it, or even like combat encounters. It just feels good. This thing I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I think I'm probably on the back end of it now, but you know, man, it feels like a game. Like a lot of people have been talking about how it feels like a PS3, Xbox 360 era game.
My immediate reaction to playing the demo was like, this feels like Vanquish. I'm getting a lot of Vanquish vibes.
A lot of people have been going back to play Vanquish. And Vanquish is a good game. We
Yeah.
have a show on it. You can go listen to it on this here podcast.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. Vanquish has a smoke button. You can hit a button and smoke a cigarette.
Has a bit with dancing robots out of nowhere, and I'm like,
for no reason. But this is, dude, this game it's got so much heart. It is a game that's like, it's never cynical. Like, I was trying to describe it to someone recently, and I talked about how you have I've never played as a main character who doesn't have an edge to him really at all, but doesn't come across as corny. You're playing as like the nicest guy in the world, hanging out with this kid, being like a foster parent situation, and it never comes across as corny or, trying too hard to be sentimental. It's just like, and then like I said, combat wise, the deeper I get into it, the more that the hacking starts adding all the different nodes, which are like modifiers to the hack, basically. Some of the combat sections, there is also these red rooms, kind of like the Slayer gates in the game, where you go find keys that you can unlock red rooms to go into these big, like, scary combat encounters. Oh, those are like challenging and legitimately tough. The bosses are cool. Like, they feel like daunting bosses. Like, all these bosses are like city street sized monsters or robots you're taking on. This thing's great, man. I am so happy that this thing came out the way it did. It hopped on my radar closer to the release of it, where I was like, this kind of seems like a game I would like. I like science fiction and dad games, games where you feel like you're, on a journey with, as like fatherhood and such. And then I played the demo and like, the combat's legitimately fun. I like the combat, it's different. But this thing's blown me away. I'm having so much fun with it. I really, really, really am happy with this thing. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I definitely suggest it. Even if you're not a third-person shooter kind of person, like, the hacking is not unapproachable. It's challenging, but it's not unapproachable. And as the game gets more difficult, they start giving you more tools to kind of make the hacking easier or more impactful. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a straight up a weapon that removes lines of the hack screen. So as the enemies get bigger and tougher, the hack screen gets bigger and more complex. But this weapon, when you hit them with the weapon, it takes away parts of the hack screen.
So the shooting and the hacking, like,
interact with each other.
Because in the demo, they were kind of like separate things. I was shooting while also hacking, which were you use the face buttons to like navigate like the snake grid, basically solving a snake puzzle to break down their shields, so you can shoot them. So as you get deeper in the game, there's more of like an interaction
between the two.
Okay,
so you'll start getting into situations where, let's say the snake grid, because that is a good way of putting it, is like 7 lines long by 10 lines deep, right? It's a tougher enemy. Well, you get a weapon that when you hit it, it's like a grenade that attaches to the robot. When it hits the enemy, it will shrink it from like 7 lines long down to 5. And if you hit them again, down to 4, which makes the hack easier because you're having to, like, as the game gets on, you start getting things like negative grids, like bad things you don't want to touch that will cancel the hack or do negative effects. Mm-hmm. While shrinking that grid, it makes it easier for you to navigate it real quick to hit the other blocks that you want to hit, like things that make the hack last longer or things that make it hack multiple enemies in the vicinity. I've got one that I use a lot that makes the enemy turn on other enemies, and you want to make sure you go grab that one. It really, it works. And like I said, I'm usually like more of a Twitch shooter guy. Like, I want to be going fast and focusing on the shooting. The hacking stuff works great. It never feels like it's overbearing or too, complex to manage. Movement in the game feels so good. You're constantly able to get out of bad spots if you need to. Mm-hmm. Thing's great, man. I love this game so much heart into it. Luckily I've avoided all spoilers on the ending. I don't want to know what happens. I'll probably finish this up next week, but dude, love this thing so much. I'm Capcom, man. Year of Capcom, 2 for 2 right now.
2 for 2 so far this year. They still got Onimusha.
And here's the thing, that game will probably, if I hear positive things leading up the launch on that, that's a day one for me, because what happens is I'm starting to be like, hey, as long as Capcom keeps producing quality like this, I'm just going to follow you until you stop doing it, you know?
My rule now for when I go like retro game hunting now, because I'm like on a big Capcom high recently, is like, all right, I'm going to find a Capcom game and get one.
I mean, have they always been bangers? No. But they do have a pretty good track record.
They're at least interesting. Like, even the bad Capcom games, you're like, you can see like the trajectory downward, and you'd be like, hey, they learned from this really bad like Mega Man X game to make a banger later on. So
I mean, good for them, man. It's been a hell of a year. Capcom's been my favorite publisher this year, and they've produced two of my favorite games this year, and two of my favorite games in a long time. So hell yeah, Capcom. Go check it out. It's great. It's worth the money.
I played that demo on Switch and had a really fantastic time. Like,
the only thing I can tell on like graphical changes is like Diana's hair doesn't bounce as much when you jump around and stuff on the Switch as it does on the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, DLSS cannot figure out hair.
Yeah.
But other than that, like,
of the problems.
Yeah.
Like, this game is very pretty in a lot of places, but that's not the main draw. So I wouldn't necessarily like. Listen, there's some cool stuff like in like a fake New York, and there's a beach that I just found recently that was beautiful. But I think a Switch 2 version of this game, perfectly fine way to play it.
Whichever one I can find on sale first, Switch or PS5, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Definitely enjoying it, man. It's great. I'm having so much fun.
This is on my short list. I want a new game in the coming weeks. I'm trying to figure out I'm waiting for 007 to come out.
Yes,
because then I'll have the choice between, do I want Pragmata, do I want Saros, or do I want 007?
Saros looks good too. Like, I think Saros is not generally my kind of game. I don't like roguelites a lot of times. But I have been watching a lot of footage of that thing, and it looks really good.
It was like bullet hell third-person Doom.
I like that the dude who's like the main model of the game has been like streaming it with, I guess, his wife or whatever. And it's just weird.
He's married to Alana Pierce.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Oh, okay. It's weird to be like scrolling through TikTok as like, here's the dude playing a dude in the video game. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. This guy's having a good time. Is he by chance, and you might not know this, I need to look it up. It just dawned on me today when I saw a photo of him. The same guy who voiced and played the main character in Bolt Gun. He looks similar. I don't know. I need to look it up.
I'm not the guy to ask that question to.
I don't know. I need to look it up. But no, that game looks good. 007 coming out this month?
This month?
Yes.
3 weeks from today?
I really want that to be good.
I need that to be good.
I want it to be good. Also, we have Control coming soon. Because I watched the... like, they had like a developer diary they released last week. And I watched. I think that's still this year. I think it's later in the year, but it's still coming.
Summer Games Fest is going to, like, pad out like a lot of dates coming up, but there's a bunch of games come later on this year. They just announced a remake of Star Fox 64 for next month.
Michael just sent me that with no context. I was like, I don't know what to believe with this. It looks like something, Michael.
The more I look at it, the more I'm into it. But I had an initial shock looking at the thing going, what are they doing? Oh no. And then I was like, oh, they're making it look like the commercials for like the original Star Fox on Super Nintendo. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cute. And then you see like James McCloud with aviators on in the sunset. And I'm like, okay, this looks pretty rad. I don't know. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, okay, maybe I'll get Star Fox.
Listen, I applaud them for doing something weird and unique. I hope it's awesome. You know, it's like, I'm at this point now, I am open to be wowed. You know, like, let me see cool stuff. And until you let me down, I'm just going to go into it with a positive mindset. So, I mean, and the more I look at it too, I agree. It doesn't look as jarring as, I think it also probably looks better in motion. Because I saw the screenshot you sent me. And I'm like, well, in motion, it'll probably look better. So, we'll see. No, a ton of good stuff coming. Summer Games Fest in less than a month. I saw the trailer got released for that, which is weird that Game Fest gets the trailer, but
I didn't watch that trailer. Was there planes? Did they show planes?
Michael, I watched it on lunch today. Well, when I was waiting to go to lunch, I watched it sitting in the car waiting to meet you for lunch.
Oh, okay.
The big one that I saw was Tomb Raider was in there, which makes me excited because I'm hoping that means Tomb Raider is close. Because I want that Tomb Raider, Michael. I want that Tomb Raider.
I saw a rumor that one's delayed till next year. Like
Don't do this to me.
But we have so many good games this year.
Yeah, but I want more. I want more, Michael.
I need the release date for Ace Combat. That's all I need for the.
I imagine that's it.
And Final Fantasy VII Part 3. I need that to be at Summer Games Fest. That's one. We're getting AI generated fake leaks for Final Fantasy VII. So that's where we're at now.
Dude, I have beef with AI, and we're getting so many fake bullshit. Like this game comes out next week, and it's like clearly like a weird render. I don't know, man. I don't know. It bums
My
me
favorite
out.
thing is that been making AI generate images and then like blurring them like they're like stole the footage or something, and I'm like, this is AI Cloud Strife. What are we doing?
I hate it all, man. I hate it.
I did like the fake tile though. Final Fantasy VII Return. I'm like, okay, that's good for a final.
That's good. That's good.
Like Return to the Planet, which is a recurring thing. I'm like, okay, all right, that's kind of cool.
We'll see.
But also, that's ones that the fans been kicking around. So I'm like, you can't lead that for your leak. You can't just do whatever the fans are saying.
No.
It's one thing if they do it, but if you just repeat what the fans are saying, you're like, well, this is obviously fake.
Yeah. If it's not coming from Wario64, I don't believe it.
Or Nate the Hate.
Nate the Hate.
He got Star Fox right.
Them dudes
out of pocket. He's like, there's a Star Fox game coming out in June, and we're like, yo, dude, don't put yourself on the line like this. What are you doing?
Them dudes got uncles at Nintendo. I mean, like, all those times, those kids who told you on the playground that they knew a guy who worked at Nintendo, those guys did. Like, they're legit. Like, I'm pretty sure that I feel like I'm glad that they live in the world where they want to just get leaks for video games. Because I feel like if they started looking for, like, state secrets, we would probably be in trouble. Like, they'd be leaking, like, strategic plans all the time.
He might have a Signal account. Who knows?
I mean, it's not like it's hard. I feel like we could probably leak secrets. Speaking of leaking secrets and stealing documents and secret agent stuff.
Conspiracies.
And conspiracies. We finished up Perfect Dark. Michael?
Yes.
I like Perfect Dark.
I really like this game. It's a game that I'm mad at myself for not like playing and seeing through earlier, but I also think that this game, in comparison to the second half, has a relatively rough start, especially compared to like something like GoldenEye.
I think GoldenEye starts off stronger.
Yes. That first level with the dam, I mean, beating up 006 in the facility, forget about it. Like,
I think the first like 4 or 5 levels of GoldenEye are probably some of the best levels in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect Dark holds a lot of its cards to its chest till later in the game. And I would say this though, I wanted to play devil's advocate though. The levels in the beginning of Perfect Dark are still good.
Yeah.
They just don't reach the same highs as we get here. Like, these levels are just significantly better.
This middle chunk here is so bonkers. So, like, insane.
I mean,
that I was not expecting to go where this game does, judging by, like, the first couple levels. Like, this game starts out being like it's like Cyberpunk James Bond. Then we get introduced like an alien. That's weird. And then all of a sudden, like, we are on Air Force One trying to save the president while freeing an alien on top of that, while they're raided by conspirators who are being mind controlled by another group of aliens.
From like a level design, like my favorite level, the first playthrough was like the Chicago level.
Mm-hmm.
There was like 4 or 5 levels here that are all better than that one. Like, just the quality of, like, each level is quick and fast, so it encourages you to play it multiple times. But, dude, that's just, like, let's start off here. Because, we left off with Joanna trying to get a hold of the president, basically. So we have what is relatively a very short level here, basically to get aboard Air Force One. And it's got like, you get some cool gadgets here. We get the sleeper darts on the crossbow. we have to steal a uniform. Going back to, we do that a couple times in this game where we have to like get up uniforms and impersonate people and be all secret agent like. This level is not like my favorite of the playthrough by any means. It's so short that it's almost hard to, it's almost just kind of like a lead up mission.
I failed this. It took me 2 times to beat this level. It is really fast, but like the scale of it's really cool because you're on this like Arctic base trying to sneak into a hidden base that's inside a mountain.
Yeah.
Which is very James Bond coded.
Oh yeah, this feels like a it feels like a sequel to GoldenEye.
Yeah, this feels like one of those levels that I think they had an idea for that they like stuck in, because they did have ideas like, if we make an Air Bond game, we want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So this feels like one of those levels, just like breaking in, walking through. There's some people who recognize you, but some people who don't, but you don't want to make noise, so you just like quickly punch them out.
Yeah. Like people will be like, wait a sec, I don't know you, and you just pop. Imagine I just punched him out, but I imagine you can also use your little sleeper crossbow thing to do it.
Yeah.
Dude, I love when you first walk into where Air Force One is, and it's like got like the laser grid around it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like she even like makes a comment about it and stuff. And it's just like, it's like, hey man, we're just here to show you cool, fun stuff.
It's like this game has. I don't think there's ever been a game as lauded as it was when it came out that just has aged faster than Perfect Dark. Because right around the corner, in the course of a year from Perfect Dark's release, 1 month later, Deus Ex came out, which really defined like senses of spacing and playing levels as you wanted to. 6 months later, No One Lives Forever came out, which was like another spy, like GoldenEye style, like the James Bond pastiche on PC, but also had like really like wide open levels and like approaching missions from different areas. And we talked about a year later, Halo came out. That's like 3 sort of revolutionary or like highly regarded first-person shooters in the span of a year that really make this game, because of its hardware limitations and trying to push like old hardware with the Nintendo 64 to its limit, that even though, like I said, this was the 7th highest rated game on Metacritic when it came out, you would not have guessed it based on like the time it released, but then you realize it came out just before all these juggernauts.
It basically comes out into a bad neighborhood, right? Like it's coming out and there's all these other things that are going to like revolutionize video games, but it doesn't mean that Perfect Dark doesn't do some amazing stuff.
Oh, it does. Absolutely.
Like, dude, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, we talk about GoldenEye a lot more nowadays, but Perfect Dark is better than GoldenEye to me. Is that a crazy statement?
I
like
think
GoldenEye,
you're right,
but I think Perfect Dark's better.
Perfect Dark is a much better paced video game.
Exactly.
The levels are more consistently good. GoldenEye has really high highs, and I played it again last year. Astronomical lows. Like, whenever the game GoldenEye asks you to do stealth, it's was
not good.
Miserable. You mess up one stealth encounter, and the rooms are flooded for the rest of the level with a bunch of dudes, a bunch of turrets, a bunch of exploding barrels, that it becomes like a chore to play. So you just restart and grab the throwing knives and make sure that you don't get caught this time.
I think also, like, one thing that GoldenEye doesn't do as well, GoldenEye's levels are a lot more longer in a lot of ways to me.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's just the pacing of the levels themselves. Because a lot of these levels are shorter, fail states don't bother me as much. Because because it's almost like a puzzle in a lot of ways. Like, once you learn how to solve the level, it's like if I fail on objective 3, it's not as big of a deal because I already know how to finish up 1 and 2. So it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like the pacing's better. I feel like a lot of the GoldenEye levels that are like outdoor environments can be kind of tedious. The ones here are not that bad. One of my favorite levels in this game is a big outdoor area.
It was very much
was
like
great.
Their homage to like Surface from GoldenEye.
Yeah, though you're talking about the plane crash,
the snowy level with the plane
crash.
crash.
Yeah.
You could tackle that was the one level here where you could tackle the objectives in like any order, based on where you, how you approach them and everything. And getting to the end, I was like, had a little bit of health left. I was like really tense getting into the end because this was like a long journey. But I know if I picked up that level again, I knew where everything was and could like easily fly through it.
So I got killed at the very, very end after rescuing the president because I got turned around. Because I will say, and that's just the nature of this video game's age. A lot of the tunnels and stuff look similar. I got turned around. I ran into a couple enemies that got me in the back and killed me. No, I accidentally shot the president. Because he follows you,
and that level has a like duplicate.
Yeah,
so it's possible if you run into him first, you might think that's the duplicate.
I shot the president, so I had to restart it. But like at that point, I had memorized where the level was. I knew the layout real well, so I was just able to, run, turn the beacon on, go fight the duplicate, the fake president, go grab the real president, get out. Dude. I really, really enjoy this.
And the introduction of voice acting, even though I do not understand a single thing that is going on in this story, this game has like a tongue-in-cheekness to it. It is not afraid to be goofy. It's not afraid to be funny.
Joanna's like genuinely pretty charming and fun. Elvis is like a character that in most video games would be annoying.
I love Elvis.
I like Elvis.
So
like when he shows up wearing the American flag like tank top, it's like, sure, Elvis, I get it.
And he's the best companion. Like you don't have to worry about him. He's helping you. He's wasting dudes.
He's just like firing dual little like laser pistols. Elvis can get killed. I found that out on the spaceship, on the last section of the spaceship, because I shot a rocket at Elvis's foot by mistake.
Oh no.
Well, I was trying to shoot, he was getting surrounded and I figured he could die, and I switched weapons real quick and shot like the Slayer or whatever, the rocket launcher that you get from the aliens, and it killed Elvis. And I was like, oh no. But no, like he's not annoying, he's just kind of funny and fun, and the lightheartedness of this game is really great. Like
more, as like you talked about with Pragmata, more games of like this ilk need to know that it's okay to not take yourself super seriously all the time. Like yeah.
And one of my favorite things is it's not a situation where the game is constantly looking at the camera being like, ha ha ha. Like Joanna plays it pretty straight. And so like it's just like everything just is kind of funny in context. Dude, I think the tone of this is great. Like I said, yeah, it's early voice acting, but it doesn't mean it's not. It does the trick, it works. I'm sure that they got a lot of these people from just around the office to come in and do some voice acting. But
to rotoscope their faces. I guarantee there was probably some people from gaming magazines too that got scanned into this thing.
I'm sure some people, there's some Game Pro people in there somewhere.
There was going to be a feature. It got cut because of Columbine, I think. It was going to be called Perfect Head Mode, where you could take a picture of yourself using, I believe, was it the Game Boy camera? And using the N64 transfer pack, you could send a picture of yourself to the game and you could make a multiplayer character with your face on it.
I could see that being we can't post Columbine, we can't let people put their faces on things that shoot.
Or I think the fear was take pictures, use the Game Boy camera at school, and then putting it grafted on people. Might be a bad look at the time.
Yeah, the ward got really sensitive about that stuff after Columbine. And like I think it affected a lot of like Doom mods and things like that. And it was also just a lot of pressure on games at the time.
The 90s were a very like politically sensitive time for video games. That was like the
Jack Thompson
stuff, the Joe Lieberman stuff with the Sega, Nintendo
trials. Trying to throw Sega under the bus.
Well, undermine the entire video game industry, which looking at that now, you get some like really funny clips of it, like Howard Lincoln, Nintendo's lawyer, saying Night Trap will never be on a Nintendo console.
And we played it on the Switch. No. And like, listen, I get it. That could have been, I mean, they did something similar in Rainbow Six Vegas. Rainbow Six Vegas, I remember, had, because there was the camera on the Xbox 360, and you could take your photo of yourself and put it on your character in Rainbow Six Vegas, and I think they did it in like the 2K games. I remember
You can do that like
trying
today in at least like the 2K wrestling games. You can like send a picture of yourself to mold onto
It's just
the
me
characters.
facing Danhausen. Danhausen, my favorite professional wrestler right now.
He's fantastic.
I think he's done half a match, but damn it, I love Danhausen. No, I really, I tell you, like, hitting some high notes here, because I think more the overall experience is what I'm most interested in talking about. But, you know, you have the mission getting onto Air Force One. The Air Force One mission, I love shooters that have, like, confined space levels, where you're having to, like, move around, like, the plane and do all this stuff.
The bad guys look like they're wearing Black Panther suits, is my note here.
They kind of do look like they're wearing Black Panther suits.
Yep. And the shields, when they like light up, they remind me of the shields, like the boxy shields from like 1980s Dune.
Yes.
Like, not like just if you haven't seen the original Dune, look up like one of the fight scenes from it, because those shields are the most ridiculous looking
they're
thing.
Boxy and like obviously
They look like Roblox characters.
It looks like, you know, like a kid putting cardboard around themselves to make themselves into a robot, and it pops up for just a second. But I find it charming. I find like the shield effect charming.
Yeah,
a lot of those things are very charming, and I think they still could work today. Like, I don't think this game aged particularly bad. Like, is it a Nintendo 64 game? Yes, but it doesn't age well. It didn't age bad.
I think playing it loops back around, right? Because I imagine playing this in like 2004, 2005 is a lot different than playing this in 2026. Because we're not directly comparing, even though we do, because like this is like a gaming podcast, we have to reflect on its time in game history. But playing it now is not directly tied to those things when first-person shooters were rapidly changing. Like, we can look back on it now and be like, isn't this like a cool anecdote? Look at this awesome like game here pushing the Nintendo 64 to its limits. We can look at it more in a vacuum versus like...
I imagine if you played this, you know, because you say Halo comes out a year later. If you play Halo and then someone hands you Perfect Dark, it probably does feel like a major step backwards. But at the time, I'm thinking like you played it when Halo came out.
Which is why I think something like Perfect Dark Zero is probably a disappointment, because you're like, oh, just when they make the sequel is going to be, or the prequel is going to be really great, Perfect Dark's going to be back on top. And then that sort of just like came and went, fizzled.
I have that on my hard drive, and I do kind of want to play it just to see. I need to know what that game is, because when it came out, I got a 360 pretty much right at launch, but the first person shooter to get was Call of Duty 2, and so I bought that one, and then I got Quake 4 when that came out. It was relatively early as well. So Perfect Dark kind of didn't even make a huge impact in my like social circle, and we were playing between like the four of us that were like all big GAT 360s right at launch. I ain't gonna lie, we were playing pretty much everything. And for some reason, Perfect Dark just never connected. Nobody grabbed Perfect Dark Zero. And so I kind of want to go and play that and know why that didn't connect. Because that kind of was the nail in the coffin, I guess. Because Perfect Dark comes out and it's well received and people liked it. Perfect Dark Zero comes out, people don't. And that franchise never got its feet back underneath it.
It was put on ice. I was listening to, after I finished Perfect Dark, I listened to Mac McMuscle, such a really good series called What Happened, where he talks about like troubled game developments, and he was talking about Perfect Dark Zero. And after Perfect Dark Zero, well, before it came out, it was originally going to be a GameCube game. Then it got bought by Microsoft, so it was going to be worked on the original Xbox. They fast-tracked the 360 and was like, hold this original Xbox game, give it a year of polish, and then when it comes, we can have it as a 360 launch game. That's really enticing, right? You can be at launch. You can beat Halo to the punch.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that enticing? Like, I would take that deal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it just didn't pay off, and that Microsoft, throughout the 360 era, Rare was coming up with pitches for games, and Microsoft was like, nope. And one of the concepts they had was like a darker post like Perfect Dark series of like 2 games where it would be like the split, like you have the sci-fi, you have like the cerebral cyberpunky sci-fi half as the first game, and then you have like the like sequel, the where it like really like breaks off from that in the second half. And then they were working on that game in secret because they were afraid Microsoft was going to kill it. They had enough ready and was like, this is what we want to do, and Microsoft was like, nah.
I think that Rare kind of hit a weird spot because the 360 quickly kind of had a different vibe for a lot of those games. Even early on, it started changing pretty quickly because like they had Perfect Dark, then they did Viva Pinata,
Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Viva Pinata was after that.
It was around that time. I think Viva Pinata was after, and then Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise, which I need to play Viva Pinata.
There was a friend of mine who, when Viva Pinata came out, mind you, we were 16 to 17 years old around that time, was just a diehard Viva Pinata fan. We would get all of our Xbox 360s and bring them to his house and set up in his closet of a room 3 to 4 Xbox 360s with 3 to 4 televisions to play video games, in this little closet. How we didn't kill each other of like heat stroke, I don't know. It was just like
red rings all around.
3 or 4 16-year-old to 17-year-old boys in nothing but our boxers because it was so fucking hot. Sitting there playing Halo 3 on together or play. But he would sit there, we would play other games while he played Viva Pinata. So it's just Viva Pinata going on, and I'm over there playing Gears 1 or whatever. He loved that game. Oh my God, he loved it. But so I never played it, but I'm very aware of that music going on constantly. Same friend who we would have like multi-hour, like to the point that everyone else would just go to bed, fights on Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2, the RTS, because he would always set up inside of Helm's Deep playing the fucking elves. God, I hate those elves to this day. And I would just lay siege for like 3 hours trying to break. And he wouldn't come out to fight me. If he just came out and fought me after I failed to take the walls, he would probably win. But no, he'd just stay in there. Like 3 hours of me laying siege to Helm's Deep trying to get in there. Always playing as the Urukai because that was like my go-to. Oh, dude. Fun times. No, but like, it feels like they've kept trying to get this franchise back. And like I said, last year we had the trailer for it, the gameplay trailer for it, and I was like genuinely excited. I was like, this looks like this is gonna be fun. There's like all this drone stuff going on where you're using like a drone to get information, and then it got killed like 6 months later. Yeah, I doubt. Like, I don't know if we're going to see another one of these at this point, and that bums me out.
I put Perfect Dark in a similar spot as I did to our franchises. I have like the same affinity for Dino Crisis and Parasite Eve.
Which we played Parasite Eve.
Yes.
You can go listen to that on this podcast. We'll probably play Dino Crisis eventually. I kind of want to play Dino Crisis 2, but
Dino Crisis 2 is a lot of fun. It's very, very, very different. But like,
it's more like a shooter, like an action game.
It's a like arcadey action game.
Yeah.
Compared to the first one's like really smart survival horror with puzzle fatigue, even for me who likes puzzles in those games. But I look at these 3 games around this. That came out around a similar time, like late 90s, early 2000s. And I'm just like, the potential there for franchising and becoming bigger than the first game, like laying a great foundation. Parasite Eve 2, I haven't played, but is like a hard shift into like the survival horror aspect and less of the RPG stuff. So it's not like, it's radically different than the first game that had like a lot of potential to like really grow and flourish in the space it did. Dino Crisis, same thing. They make a hard swerve into something completely different. And the third game, like, salted the earth again, same thing. Parasite Eve 3, the third birthday on the PS3 was really bad. Salt of the Earth. Here comes Perfect Dark. First game. Second game, Salt of the Earth. We try to come back, and you can't. They couldn't do it. And I'm stuck with 3 games here. Then I'm like, they're doing something really cool. I really, really like these games. They needed another thing to really like find like the things that make them stand out as games and allow them to grow and flourish in like a true sequel and not trying to pivot into something else.
Do you ever think that, like, I think, and this is just an Eric theory, I feel like game franchises, you almost have to have at least 2 to 3 wins to be able to, like, suffer through and survive the bad game, right? If you have your quote-unquote bad game too early, it's harder to save the franchise. So, like, and I'm not saying these games are necessarily bad, because I haven't played Perfect Dark Zero. But, like, I feel like if your second or third game doesn't quite hit, it can really just it's not the same thing as like your fourth or fifth game hitting, right? Like we talk about Resident Evil. Resident Evil 6 comes out, it doesn't hit, but Resident Evil was so established at that point, it was worth bringing it back.
It's a miracle we got Devil May Cry 3 after Devil May Cry 2. It is a straight for the same team that made 2. 2 is a bad game.
That's like a good example of like you can bring it back, but dude, most of the time you don't get a chance. Like, it is a miracle that Devil May Cry 3 exists, which is great because I like Devil May Cry a lot, and I'm happy that it survived that game. We wouldn't have Devil May Cry 5, a game in which Dante uses 2 tires as weapons and then puts them together and rides around on a motorcycle. I love Devil May Cry 5. Oh my god, it's so good. But yeah, I really am bummed that this franchise is probably dead. That makes me sad. And who knows, 10 years from now, Perfect Dark comes back and tries to play. But it's almost like it's going too long that the nostalgia is almost going away. Like, the people who are nostalgic for Perfect Dark are aging. And it's like, this is the time to catch us before we get too old. But yeah, dude, this game has so much wild stuff, man. Like, from the Air Force One missions, and then the mission, my favorite mission, which was the crash sequence where you're like saving the president on the ground and trying to get him out.
I loved using the night vision through the tunnels there. I didn't even realize I was shooting the evil president underneath because I just like was shooting figures in the dark from a distance with like the sniper rifle, and then it was like, oh, you killed the fake president. I was like, oh, thank God that wasn't the real one.
And I will say they do a cool way of kind of giving you a heads up who's real. Okay. Because when you walk in, there's like the drones surrounding the real president, and he's kind of held up because he's held up by the bad guy who takes off running when you shoot at him. So it kind of gives you a little bit more like visual clues to who's legit and who's not. I like the boat sequence. I do think the boat has a little bit of like all these hallways kind of look the same. If you get turned around, you can kind of get lost. But like I like using like the X-ray glasses to look into the machine to shut the right lights off. That whole thing is great. I like the underground, like the whole undersea base stuff. I like the alien spaceship. Like,
what in the Halo is my note on this spaceship?
It feels like but I like how you have like almost like xenomorph creatures that you're fighting now because those are the aliens.
Some of them have guns, identity. But some of them will rush you and like do a ton of damage.
Oh yeah, they'll fuck you up if you get hit by them.
Yeah, we get the best gun in the game in this section, the laptop gun.
Laptop guns are cool because you just throw it out,
as a sentry,
and like.
That's great. Like that was great for the submarine mission where you have to activate you have to use your X-ray vision to activate the points on the communications dish. I think it's the communications
Yeah,
dish.
because you have to open it up to be able to get inside of it.
Yes, so you do that to like shut off the power. So, but as soon as you do that, even before you get to the bottom one, all the doors will open and flood with enemies. So what do? You put the laptop gun down and just lay waste to those fools trying to get to you.
When you're coming up out of that section and you're going through all those hallways that are just jam-packed with enemies, it's also really cool to open the door, throw the laptop gun into the hallway, and back up and listen to it just go to work. And it's like, okay, cool. I guess it's safe to go inside now.
I bet that gun is really fun in multiplayer.
Yes, I bet you it is. Like I said, we start getting like alien guns. We get like one of my favorite missions is the assault on the Institute. When you get attacked in the Institute,
it does my favorite cliche in games is when they take a familiar space and now there's enemies here. I loved it when like Dishonored did it. I loved it when XCOM did it. I love it when this game does it.
And you get like some cool weapons there. You get like the little wrist-mounted laser. You can go get the experimental like rocket when you get like the Reaper downstairs.
Yeah,
in like the room that's like the targeting room and stuff. And you get like a cool sequence with having to get the explosives out of there. I like how you do that it uses the same mechanic of using the taxi in the Chicago level of you like dialing up and sending the airship away. Like I love that whole level there. The alien spaceship level is cool and fun and like getting to like storm down hallways.
I like that you start out that mission from a prison, so all you have is a knife on this alien ship. That's so cool.
And that's when you get Elvis shows up to rescue you with his boys.
With the American flag.
He's wearing the American flag tank top, which I guess is there to help distinguish him from the other aliens. But I just like the fact that he shows up like...
This stupid level has a battle sequence between the two as they're like charging the hallway between like the little alien dudes and the Sudakar, that's wrong, but whatever they're called, the bad aliens.
Yeah, and they're fighting in the hallways, blowing each other up. Oh, it's great.
It was this reminded me of like Turok a lot, this section here.
The enemies, the alien enemies feel like Turok.
Yeah, how they like, you want to avoid their melee attacks. So
yeah. You gotta get a cerebro bore.
Mm-hmm.
That weapon's just cool. Like, it bores it goes into your scar and blows up.
This has an escort mission section in this level, but I don't hate it because it's short compared to GoldenEye. That sequence at the end where you're protecting Natalia from the flood of enemies from every direction takes way too long. This also has a penultimate level hacking sequence, but there's like one room where they can enter from, and it's over pretty short.
That's the section where I accidentally blew up Elvis.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, once you realize that, it's like, oh, I just stand in front of this doorway and do the fight here. And like, you just kill them I think only like 6 or 7 of them come in. So it's not overwhelming. It's not it doesn't take 2 to 3 minutes to do. It's just like 30 seconds of defend him.
The hardest mission in the section is the very last one, which I guess it can be. It's the longest one. It is the most complicated from like a level design standpoint, I think. Like, this is really challenging final level.
I had to reach out to you on this one because I had a confusing thing happen. And this is just me it's me getting stuck in my ways. So the beginning of the level, you're placing targeting information on these towers. I started the level. I threw it on the first, like you walk into the first like little hallway, and Joanna goes like, "Oh, this must be one of the monuments or towers." And so I threw it on there. It's like, "Oh, number 1 complete." I'm like, hell yeah! And I'm like going through. I threw it on the second one that I came across, and then I got killed, I believe, on the way to the third one. So I start the level over again. No big deal. Walk up to the first tower, throw it on there. Mission failed. Or objective failed. What the fuck? So restart the mission, go back, throw it on there again. Mission failed. What the hell? I just did this. Do it again. Throw it on there. This time it works. Hell yeah. Go down to the hallway of the next one. Throw it on there. Mission failed. What the hell? So I texted you mad as anything. You're like, use the finder. And I'm like, I just did this. And what it is, hey, guess what? Each time you load it up, it changes which one the towers are. Yeah, and then there's like the figuring out where to go, to blow the wall up. Like there's the one below, but you can also get in above. I had to stumble around for a little bit before I
Yeah.
realized that.
There's like a trench section where you gotta go under and find at least on the Nintendo 64 version, the ladder up to where you need to blends in with the wall. That was the point I actually turned to YouTube at that point. I was like, where am I going? What am I looking for?
The only reason I realized it was there was I was following the trench around, and if you get close enough to the ladder, it like kind of like sucks you onto the ladder a little bit. So as I was following the wall, I started to go up it, and I was like, "Oh, this is
a ladder here." Yeah.
Oh hell, I can go up this geometry.
Yeah.
And so like I just kind of stumbled upon it, to be honest with you. It was not like a grand like cheats Hackleman moment for me. But it does blend in really bad because it's like just like the little rings on the ladder barely stick out of the geometry, and it's very hard to see. And the fight down there is kind of tough because they just flood you with the enemies with the rockets. And those rockets have really weird splash damage. So it's hard to tell whether you're out of the splash damage or not. So by the time you get to the final boss, at least for me, the first time I just dump. Now, I will say you get some cool weapons here. You get like the Reaper, which is like a mini gun.
It's like a turret gun.
Oh, that's so fun. It's like you just stand there. So you get cool guns. But I just tried to I kept shooting the final boss because the game kind of taught me in the levels beforehand that you can shoot through shields, because it's like enemies now have shields. I can just shoot through the shields and it'll kill them. And it took me a while to realize that I needed to target the thing behind him as well. It wasn't, impossible, but it was like, the second time, because I eventually ran out of ammo and he killed me after.
It's a puzzle boss fight. It's not a real
straight
boss
up like
fight.
Shoot everything.
I also did the same thing. I dumped all of my ammunition, going, "What am I doing wrong? Is he just like a bullet sponge?" And I realized, wait, the statue behind him also has a shield. Maybe I'll shoot through that. And what you got to do is you got to shoot him enough to where he goes and like prays at the statue for health, and then you shoot the statue, and then it'll blow up enough. And once you blow up the last piece, it falls off, and then stabs the dude in the ground.
I like the ending little sequence where it's like Elvis shows up to save you, and Joanna's like, he's like, "I'll pull you out." And she's like, "No, just give me your gun." And she like shoots under there.
So she can get her feet out.
So she can get her feet out. She's like, let me go, damn.
And the ending of this game is just them walking away on this alien planet. What a weird ending.
I like this game, Michael.
I really like it. I
had so much fun. We played some co-op. We played 2 or 3 missions in co-op.
This would have been a blast back in the day.
Dude, it would have been a great way to spend a Saturday night. Get yourself a pizza, a bunch of Mountain Dew, and play through Perfect Dark. Oh my God. And like, it's just the mission. It's just the game. Like it doesn't add much. You just do the same missions and stuff.
I bet the snow mission would be great when co-op.
You could go 2 different ways. Yeah. Like I'll go kill the fake president if you go, rescue the real one, or I'll go turn on the beacon so you can go ahead and start heading that way to get the president. I would have had a blast playing this when it came out with friends. And I bet you the multiplayer is just as good because there's a ton of great guns. Good shotgun. Already talked about that. Mm-hmm. Good shotgun. The Slayer rocket launcher, which is like the alien rocket launcher, is really good.
You got that weird fish-looking gun that can see through walls.
That one's cool. Even like the fish, is the one that you load by putting like a blob into it.
Yes,
that one's just cool. The laptop gun would be a blast in multiplayer. Think about that, like because you can throw it on walls. So it's like.
If this game
game
had a capture the flag mode, putting a turret at your flag,
or like throwing it on the corner, around in the corner, shooting at your friend, and then running back away, so he follows you around the corner, and then the laptop gun's like beep 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 beep. Like, nah, dude. Like I would like that.
I would have had a blast if I played this. There's also it has what GoldenEye didn't, and that there's bots in the multiplayer. So
yeah, I might play some multiplayer. But like I stand by this. I really, really enjoyed this. I did not think that I would like this as much as I did.
Especially after the first half, we're like, this is pretty good. Like, this is a really good one of these. And then seeing the sum of its parts, playing the full thing, this game was an absolute blast. I really like this game.
The first couple of levels don't do this game justice. It's not till you start hitting like Chicago and stuff do you really start realizing like this game is ball. This game is great.
And then the fact that the second half goes off the wall insane with its set pieces that they were like very smartly building to where this game like loses its mind, and I am right there with it.
No,
I think had an absolute blast playing this one.
I think this game's amazing. I'm really, really glad we played it for the show. Michael, any more thoughts on Perfect Dark?
I said everything I need to say, especially talking about how, man, I want another one of these.
I feel like Joanna needs to come back. I feel like we are in a space where we could have an awesome cyberpunk Joanna
with like a sense of humor, like everything, like super self-serious. Like I really like Cyberpunk 2077, but like one that's not afraid to be goofy as all get out. Like Perfect Dark knows that it's a good time and is having a good time. Games of this tone, games of this style, there is a place for that in the modern era, and I think Joanna Dark is like the perfect protagonist for a game that would come out today.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that we could have an awesome, and I do wonder what that game looked like before it was canceled. Like having played through this now, like I was kind of bummed when I found out it was canceled before because I thought it looked like a fun game coming out. And now having played through this one for the first time and like really like liking it, it makes me more sad.
I'm heartbroken.
I'm like going back in time. I was like, I didn't know what they took away from us. I didn't know that they took away Joanna. Joanna, no, please. No, I really enjoyed this. This was great. Really hidden gem of a game for me because I went into this thinking it was going to be fun, but I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. I really love this. It's not a hidden gem for other people. It is for me. Don't come at me in the TikTok comments. I don't care about sales data, damn it. Michael, this is the greatest reveal we have ever done, but we are finally doing The Last of Us. Michael has hit up a local retro video game store here.
Yeah, I got a funny story with that. So I went here because I looked online and they had posted a lot of their inventory of what they had for the week on Facebook, and I saw that they had a bunch of copies of The Last of Us. I'm like, one of these will work.
So we can't be screwed over twice.
So I went there. They were all lined up on the shelf, all 4 copies, and I was the only one in the store at the time. So I was pulling them off the shelf, looking at them. They had the very trusting guy having the disc inside the cases.
Do not take advantage of this man.
Yeah, don't take, very fantastic store. SML Retro Games in Lexington, North Carolina. Fantastic store. Cannot recommend them enough. That the guy I talked to was absolutely nice. He saw me looking at the backs of these discs and putting them back, and he was like, I just cleaned them all before I put them up there. And I had explained, no, we got a bad copy before and everything. And he was like, oh, I understand. So, but he's like, I promise you, they all should work. And if you don't, you can bring them back within a week, and then I will replace you. Because he's like, I got a bunch of these Last of Us. I can replace another one if this one doesn't work for you. And I was like, that's awesome. Thank you. Really nice guy. Said he cleans everything on the shelf. They even have stuff that he's not sure about is in a corner of the store. That's like a buy at your own risk thing. I was looking at Tekken 6. He was like, that Tekken 6 doesn't work, but if you get it to work, hey man, I'll get you a good deal on it.
But you know what? I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I am fine with coming from a world of comics, the dollar bin being these are beat up copies, but damn it, they're fun. I'm okay with that. You buying at your own risk. No, it seems like it's a great store. I'm planning on me and you probably going to go up there here in a little bit again because I want to go visit. It's not far from here at all.
That's how we found Splinter Cell. I was like, hey, I found 2 copies of Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. One of them is $1, and you're like, let's play this for the show. And we love that game.
Pour one out for Matt's Game Exchange.
Oh my god.
but no, I really appreciate it. We have a copy now for me, so we will be doing The Last of Us.
I have tested it. I loaded the save Eric was on, had no issues. I loaded a late game save, which had a long chase action sequence leading directly into a combat scenario. Autosaved worked fine. Loading worked fine. I'm like, we're golden. It's still going to take about 2 minutes to load because that's the nature of The Last of Us on PS3. But the autosaves were working as they needed to.
The issue was not I was not being impatient. The issue was it was just not loading textures or audio. Like
I had one texture pop in right when the loading stopped in the late game save, and it only lasted for a second, and then it was fine.
It's when I think I showed it to you. Did I show you what it was doing?
You did not show me what it was doing, but I am going to take...
I can show you tonight.
Yeah, let's do... I want to load up your copy. I might take your copy and see if I can fix it.
I would love to, because but I'll show you tonight, because, dude...
I might take that to that store. I might take it to that store and see, like, can you find out what's wrong with this copy? This isn't the one I got. This was the one that was the broken one.
I'll go with you. We'll do it. We'll say we're doing it for content. But no, like I think that it's such a weird thing. It was such a weird thing. Oh my god. But we are doing The Last of Us. We will be playing up through Pittsburgh, as we talked about before.
Now I have to decide. It's been a month. Do I play through this section again, or do I try to refresh myself?
I'm going to start from the beginning just to refresh myself, but I'm also about halfway through the section that we needed to play, so it's a little bit different from me. But we will be playing The Last of Us. This will take us up to RPG Summer.
RPG Summer!
So go on there, add your RPG stuff to the list so we can go through that.
This is I told you guys like 2 months ago, this is a 3-part game club. Part 1, you're going to Pittsburgh. As soon as you hit Pittsburgh, save and quit the game.
Do not enter Pittsburgh.
Once you enter there'll be a cutscene of you entering Pittsburgh. You will start the game.
I go back. You enter Pittsburgh.
Enter Pittsburgh. Once you get to Pittsburgh, there's a cutscene. When you have control of your character, stop the game. Save and quit.
This is definitely a lot more story heavy, a lot more like conversations about stories and character development than Perfect Dark will be. But hey, I'm glad we are playing things all over the map. To be honest with you, I'm kind of glad that we had a break here, because we just had a special episode on Resident Evil 9. And then we're just, we're doing The Last of Us now, and we just did Metal Gear Solid 4, which was a PlayStation 3 game. I feel like we kind of got a chance to do something a little bit weirder and a little bit off, topic. We haven't got... I think Perfect Dark's the first Nintendo 64 game, other than maybe Sonic, that we've done, right?
Sonic was Dreamcast.
It was Dreamcast. I don't think we've done any more Nintendo 64 games.
I don't think so. No, I don't think we have.
So cool. We got to do... Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that we did it. So it kind of worked out, I think, to do a little bit of spacing.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, all in all, I think RPG Summer is going to be great. I think this is going to be a great game to play before RPG Summer. Anything we need to talk about before we bring it home?
I think that is everything, unless you want to talk about the fact that thank you to our Ukrainian listeners, or someone using a VPN from saying they're in Ukraine.
Somehow we ended up as the 10th biggest video game podcast in Ukraine.
For one day.
Hell yeah.
For one day. We were number 10 video game podcast in Ukraine.
To our Ukrainian listeners.
We were above Jeff Gersman's podcast.
We haven't screenshotted that we're bigger than Jeff Gersman.
For one day.
For one day.
I'll take it. I think... But according to GameStop CEO, that means we could just buy Jeff Gersman's podcast, right? We
could just buy, yeah.
You'll watch me on CNBC tonight as I'll explain how this can happen.
That meme stock went to that man's head so fast. Michael was telling me that they just want the Pokemon card trade. That's all they want.
Because if you control the resale market and the main market, you control all the prices.
Pokemon monopoly.
That's basically what they're saying. Because eBay has 2 or 3 times more the value of GameStop, and GameStop's trying to buy them as we can make this work out. And eBay's like, what are you talking about,
Michael? Pokemon has caused people to go insane. I feel like
people are looking for cards at CVS.
Dude,
the CVS.
Did you see what they did to the poor Targets?
Yes.
Target did, people ripped the the stand-ins off the sides to go try to resell the stand-ins of a Charizard. Like,
it's why Logan
guys,
Paul's a professional wrestler.
I know someone personally who just got fired from their job over stealing Pokemon cards. I will tell you about this story later because I don't want to talk about.
We'll talk about this off
But
mic.
like, people are going nuts over cards and like Pokemon, and then like, listen, one of my other hobbies, my mini, I have too many hobbies, is I do tabletop wargaming, so miniature wargaming, like Warhammer, stuff like that. Talked about it on the show before. So that puts me in a lot of shops that also sell like Magic cards and Pokemon cards and stuff, right? So that's not my scene, but I'm around it a lot. Former co-host of this show, Nick, is in the resale scene for card games. He loves a deal. The man loves a deal. The man you want to talk about art of the deal? Nick is art of the deal when it comes to cards. But
$5 million.
$5 million.
Okay, $50.
$50. We'll open that straight right away. Fucking $4 gas. But like, people have gone nuts. I'm all for seeing like card games get more popular. I saw Becky Lynch playing Magic the Gathering today on the internet. Don't know why she was doing that, but I'm glad she's having a good time. But like, things have gone off the rails, and GameStop being like, we have to control both ends of the Pokemon stream. We need to control the sell, the resale, everything. And like, saving GameStop was a mistake. We all fucked up.
You caused this. Back in 2020, you and your meme stock, you're the reason we're here.
It should have died. Listen, have you been in a GameStop recently? They're miserable places to be. I had to go to one about 2 years ago because I needed a controller, and it was what should have been a 5-minute experience was like a 25-minute experience of me fighting this man just to buy the fucking controller. Oh my god. We should have let it die. We should have let GameStop die. Bank of America thinks you should pay $80 for Grand Theft Auto also.
I'm not going to pay $80 for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Bank of America thinks they have a say in this. Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe on TikTok, on YouTube. You can send emails to stateofthesave@gmail.com. Go on there, like the TikToks, like the YouTube channel. Hey, help us out. We're trying to get press passes to things this year. Me and Michael want to go to PAX. But definitely check us out on there. Go on there, like, subscribe, comment, and we will be back with The Last of Us RPG Summer coming up.
Survey in the description.
Add your voice. We are wanting to hear from you. I just did a point thing. Stay safe out there.